The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Bronxnet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Open. Rhina Valentin here, your café con leche. Today and every Friday, you are watching Open, where we bring you the best of arts, music, sports, entertainment, and so much more. And here's what's coming up on today's show. We start things off with ideas to brighten up your weekend, of course, with our Open Weekend Preview. Then we'll hear from a director of a movie about achieving your dreams in Morocco. We sit down and discuss her own origins with Michelle Medina. After that, we'll talk to a cervical cancer survivor who is reaching out to help others with a non-for-profit organization called Tamika and Friends. Plus, Bobby C swings by to update us on the newest headlines in our sports roundup. And finally, the light shine on our Open Artist Spotlight with Esther Lermil. So stay right here. All that and more is heading your way, because now we are officially open. Hello, welcome once again to Open. Rhina Valentin here, yo café con leche, siempre, todos los viernes, ya tú sabes. And you know, we are always inviting you in on the show. We do, and would love to hear from you, and would like to hear some feedback on this show or a previous show, or maybe a future show that you'd like to see aired. And all you got to do is send us an email to open@bronxnet.org. And of course, you can visit us 24/7 by going to www.bronxnet.org. And we are online on Twitter as well at Bronxnet TV. So hit us up, right? We want to hear from you. And now, well, it's time to check out what there is to do around the city this weekend. That's right. It is now time for our Open Weekend Preview. First, bring the kids out for some culture and history at Crotona Park. The Urban Park Rangers will be hosting Native America powwow presentation for kids. The stories can be found in the names of our streets, our architecture, our parks. Urban Park Rangers specialize in interpretation of historic turning points in our city's rich history. Native American culture will be celebrated through special programs and lectures throughout all 5 boroughs. Park history programs will also tell the story of your favorite parks from the past to the future. This event will be held at noon Sunday, September 4th. That's this Sunday, September 4th, at Crotona Park. And if you're interested in more information for any other upcoming events, you can go to www.nycgovparks.org. And for this Sunday, you can call them at 718-378-2061. That's Native America Powwow Presentation for Kids. Once again, that number is 718-378-2061. Next up, salsa. Yeah, salsa. Salsa legend, that is. Salsa legend and friend of Open here on our set. She's visited us twice. Also known as La Reina del Sabor, Choco Horta. She's going to be performing at the world famous Copa Copacabana. Yeah, that's right, the Copacabana Club. And that's happening on September 13th. The Copacabana is located at 268 West 47th Street on the corner of 8th Avenue in Manhattan. And for more information on the Copacabana, you can go to CopacabanaNY.com for all of their upcoming events, because they've got some really hot entertainment going on since they've reopened. But definitely go check out our girl, Choco Horta, La Reina del Sabor, on September 13th. All right, lastly, the Sickle Cell Thalassemia Patients Network is having a walk for the cure, and that's happening September 24th in Central Park. So while helping families is the top priority of SCTPN, that's the acronym, funds raised at this event will be used to also support its scholarship programs and recruit new members and volunteers, as well as increase awareness of sickle cell disease and other hemoglobin disorders. The registration time is 9 a.m. and the walk ends at noon. And once again, that's happening Saturday, September 24th, 2011. And if you're interested in more information, you can go to www.sctpnwalk.org. Yes, that is a combination of things to do. Of course, they're not all happening this weekend. However, we give you plenty to look up so that you can occupy yourself with things to do in and around the city every weekend, because September is going to be a heavy walk month. So that was your Open Weekend Preview, everybody. All right, so we had a chance to sit down with Michelle Medina for an open world segment. That's right, we have an open world segment to talk about her film, All I Wanna Do. Let's take a look at that. Hello, I'm Rhina Valentin, and welcome to this special edition of Open World, where we touch not only the hearts of the Bronx and New York, but on the rest of the world. Our guest today is a writer and filmmaker in Casablanca, hailing from Morocco via Japan. She just finished shooting a new documentary, All I Wanna Do, which follows a hip-hop group comprised of a man and his son on their quest to fulfill their dreams. Please welcome director Michelle Medina.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, we invited you and introduced you hailing from Morocco via Japan. So, where are you originally from?
Well, I get asked this a lot. I'm not really from anywhere. I'm from a lot of different places. I was born in Florida, but I don't remember it. My first memories were in Japan, and when I came back, I was living in California, and then I moved to Massachusetts for school, and then after that, I went to New York, and then I moved to Morocco.
Wow, you did a lot of traveling.
A little bit.
A little bit. A little bit. Do you speak Japanese?
I did when I was younger. My brother still does, but I haven't been back, and I haven't used it in a long time. So
that's very interesting. Now, as far as relocating yourself so regularly, were your family in the armed services?
No, they were more hippie types.
More hippie types.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think it rubbed off a little bit?
Maybe unintentionally. I didn't want that to rub off. If it did, it wasn't meant.
You've got a little hippie action going on.
Yeah. My other clothes are in Morocco still. I only brought like the minimum of what I needed. But yes, I'd have to say yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's free-spirited, as we like to say. So, okay, so you actually have won all these awards as a filmmaker.
Yeah, a few for the film. We won at Da Vinci for Best Documentary and at Athens International, and Best Director at the World Music and Independent Film Festival in Washington, D.C. And it's up for competition in next week at the Harlem International Film Festival. Right, so we're referencing All I Want to Do, the film, right? Yeah, the film. You know, but I kind of wanted to tap into a little bit of your history and the other films that you made, because there was one that I was able to see online that actually geared towards just documenting women who have been in the entertainment industry. Right. And the fact that they're from Morocco, I found very fascinating, and I just wanted to share with everyone
that aside from you being a mom, right, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about a little later,
Okay.
what that means to you? What does that mean to you to have to actually document these women?
Well, I was interested in this topic because when I went to Morocco, there was actually a large population of filmmakers, and if you look at the comparison between, you know, the filmmakers in Hollywood who are women and Morocco, which does not have an industry, but you have so many women who are making films, I didn't expect that. It was really inspirational, and it was something that I looked up to. I looked up to them for this. So I met them, I interviewed them, watched their films, and some of these filmmakers have done like very progressive films on, you know, things post-feminist, beyond the box, outside of religion, films and stories. So through documenting them, I also became inspired to do the same thing.
Right, and what I also noticed on the actual documentary is that, you know, these are women from, like, that have age behind them. I mean, I don't want to call them old, but they're elderly women that actually brought out, like, the old pictures, the old photos, and I couldn't imagine what that must have been like back in those days.
Well, you know, it's interesting because we've had a feminist movement here, and I mean, one filmmaker told me we've always had feminism here. I mean, Moroccan women are some of the strongest women I have ever encountered. They support their families single-handedly, some of them. They do everything from like the manual labor on down to the household chores and business. So they are like the heads of households, even though that's not the official record.
That's interesting. And how long have you been in Morocco now?
Well, I've been there since 2005. I went on a Fulbright, and then I just stayed.
Wow, nice. That must have been nice. That must have been nice. New exploration, and now you just made it home. Now, just Medina. Medina's a Latina name. I wanted to ask you about that.
Right. The name,
Are you Latina?
Well, this is interesting. My father is of Mexican descent. And when I went to Morocco, I really didn't think I had any connection to Morocco. I just went there because a professor had come to speak at my university and had inspired me, and I wanted to go study with him. So it was just a feeling, and when I went there, I heard my name everywhere, because in Hebrew and in Arabic it means like metropolis, city.
Medina means metropolis city.
Yeah, it means metropolis. And so I went there and I heard my name everywhere, and people were very happy to find that I was somehow connected here. Later on, I found out that the name is actually, it's a Hebrew name, and a lot of people from North Africa had gone to Spain, Pinto, Perez, Medina, a few others, forced to convert to Catholicism, and then moved on to America, some of them crypto Jews. So unknowing, I didn't know that when I went there, but there are Perez, there is Pinto, there is Medina, still in Morocco, Jewish families. So I didn't realize I had a connection until I actually went there.
This is fascinating. So in essence, what you're saying is we're all connected.
Yeah. And we might lose that connection along the way, and we really think we don't have any connection to the next door neighbor or the next religion over, but we do. And that was actually very interesting. It was, it was inspiring.
So you captured some really great stuff in the film, All I Want to Do.
Well, Morocco is really diverse. You have the deserts, you have the mountains, you have the snow, you have the city, and it's diverse, and there's a lot of things that are there, like a lot of stories that can be filmed and told. So it's very rich. It's very rich with like many different like untold stories, and I find that inspiring, and I want to stay there for this reason.
Yes, the imagery that the film actually captures, just in the trailer alone, it actually loans itself to everything that you're saying right now, because the cityscape, it looks very busy, and then the beach looks very serene, and then the sunset is just breathtaking, and then of course there's the whole concept of a story about hip-hop in Morocco, which is very interesting. Well,
yes. The hip hop part was well, I ran into that. My friends in Morocco, a lot of them are rappers and musicians, and I initially wanted to make a documentary about rap, hip hop in Morocco, because it's not it has a different way of showing itself in society. It's not the same thing as it is here. You know, it takes from different traditions and it incorporates it into hip hop. And
so what you're saying is like, because right now you're speaking in the birthplace of hip hop,
exactly.
right? So this is where it all originates, right? And then what I'm assuming what you're suggesting is that when it gets taken to Morocco, Morocco's culture encompasses it and then kind of adds the cultural component to its origin.
Yeah. It's transformed. It's transformed and it's changed so that it is adapted to Moroccan culture. But what I find is that the people who are attracted to it, inspired by it, and who, you know, use it as a form of expression, in those ways, it's very similar to the way it is here. You know, like this particular family, they represented a working class family in the city, and hip hop connected to them. It was their means and their medium of expression. And they are not professional rappers. The two individuals in the film, they're amateurs. But I wanted to kind of document start to finish, concept to realization of it. And they have, you know, their heroes are both traditional Moroccan musicians and Moroccan rappers. And then through that, you have the Moroccan rappers who idolize American rappers. You know, so you have like a rapper named Big, and he loves the original Big. You have Master Flow. You have a lot of these rappers who are in Morocco who look to American rap, of course, as their inspiration, and they just transform it a little bit. And the two individuals in my documentary are second generation. They look to the Moroccan rappers. They're inspired by their language in this musical form.
So when people see this film, what should they expect to take with them aside from it being a hip-hop story?
Well, I didn't put a lot of narrative on it because I don't like documentaries that tell you what people are, you know, or how you should see them. I'm not an anthropologist, so I just want to capture a story. So I'm hoping that everyone who sees it comes away with something different. Someone who may be able to observe the landscape and the class difference, or everyone might come away with a different perspective, but I would like them to get a sense of what's happening in North Africa, because I think that through some of these small, you know, innocent topics in the film, you can see what everyone wants in the region, which is to live out their dreams, to feel like they're worthy and that they have something to say and that someone wants to listen to them. And I think that's probably the root cause of a lot of the things that we're seeing in Tunisia and Egypt. And I see that in my own documentary. I see that there, that desire to feel like, okay, I don't have money and there's not a lot of things that are open to me, but I am a worthy individual and I don't want to be put down because I don't have you know, the means to show off and to buy my way into a business.
Once again, thank you, Michelle, for coming by. And for more information on Michelle Medina and her projects, you can go to vimeo.com/Michelle Medina or check her out at michellemedinafilm.com.
What's the difference
انا كنخدم كنكاردي لي طوموبيلات، كاين شي خدمه اخرى عاوتاني في الطوموبيل غنغسلها، اي حاجه كنكون انا بحال الجوكر.
بغيت نجرب نسجل الالبوم ديالي.
بدات تشوف هذوك الاشكال وهذوك لي رابور اللي تينقصوا وهذاك الشيء، ما تتغير شويه منهم باسكو لو هيب هوب سي اوسي سا لا
نتسناو من هذا الشيء ولا فاش كاين الامنيه ديال الفقير هو الحلم، كيبدا يحلم.
And welcome back to Open. Rhina Valentin here. We hope, well, you enjoyed that segment of our show, Open World. And make sure you check them out online. All right, our next guest was diagnosed with cancer in 2008, but instead of being a victim and statistic, she put her time to good use and is now helping others with their own battles. With Timika and Friends, which is a non-for-profit organization dedicated to raising awareness about cervical cancer, and it's linked to HPV, which stands for the human papilloma virus. We gladly welcome Patty to the show, and thank you, Patty, for being here.
Thank you.
And speaking with us about this, it's becoming a little more common, right? The
Yes.
cervical cancer.
Well, it always has been there.
Right.
But people are bringing it to, out, because we hear about breast cancer and we don't hear about cervical cancer. Yes, cervical cancer is the second most common cancer that a woman can get. So
can you just share with everyone a little bit about your experience and how, when you were diagnosed, what effect and how that impacted your life?
Absolutely. I was careless, so to speak. I did not visit my gynecologist for almost 4 years.
Wow.
And that's important.
Okay.
Why? Because I'm a retired police officer. I was working at the time. My schedule was hectic, busy with life and my husband and everything. I was in a monogamous relationship with my husband for 10 years at the time. What can happen? I didn't feel anything, no symptoms, no nothing. And nothing can happen to me. So, that became, I left it in the back burner, so to speak. Unfortunately, I started having some symptoms. And once you get symptoms, you're already kind of like a little bit on the late side.
What are some of the symptoms?
Some of the symptoms, I started spotting between menstrual cycles.
Right.
I felt bloated. While I was having sexual intercourse, you have some uncomfortable feelings, and my bleeding progressed. That led me to seek my doctor.
Right.
And once I went, I had a tumor. I was diagnosed with cervical cancer stage 2B. My tumor was too big to be a candidate for a hysterectomy, so they treated me with radiation and chemotherapy. I had to go to radiation every day for 7 weeks, and I had chemotherapy for 7 weeks once a week. And I also had internal radiation where they take a device, put it inside your cervix with radiation rods. And nobody can come and visit you because they don't want people to be exposed to radiation. So it was kind of a lonely time for me. Yes.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Now, the good news is that you're cancer-free.
Yes.
That's the good news.
Yes.
However, you mentioned something earlier in your story pertaining to being in a monogamous relationship, and I just can you elaborate a little further as to why you chose to state that you were in a monogamous relationship? What role does that play in obtaining the virus?
Right, because the human papilloma virus is a sexually transmitted infection. It's very common. In the United States, 80% of the people that are sexually active will be infected by the human papilloma virus at some point in their life. The good news is that this is a virus that is transient. The body has the capability of fighting the virus. But some of us, like myself, do not have that capability, and the virus stays in your body dormant, and it's known to be dormant like 10 to 20 to 15 years. And and it wakes up when the immune system is down or your body is changing in any kind of way. And then this virus starts changing the normal cells in your cervix to abnormal cells.
I see. So how is this prevented? Like what you were saying, you neglected going to the gynecologist for 4 years.
Right.
And had that been checked on an annual basis, would you say that could have been prevented?
Absolutely. Once you go to the pap test, or the pap,
the pap smear test,
the pap smear test tells the doctor if your cells are changing. And if you're 30 and older, you could have the HPV test, where it tells the doctor that you have the virus in your body or not.
So when you go to the gynecologist and you get your pap smear, you should specifically ask for an HPV test?
Well, if you're 30 and older,
if you're 30 and older.
You should. Some doctors do it automatically, but this is where a relationship between you and your physician comes in, that you should be able to ask, if he's not giving it to you, to ask that you want it. I mean, you have to be your advocate for your own health.
Right, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. And of course, then there's the issue of actually going and getting checked up annually. Like
exactly.
Not allowing time to go by.
Right. Now, I just want to tell you that if you are positive for the HPV virus, that doesn't mean that you have cervical cancer. It means that the virus is in your body, and they monitor it, because, like I said, it could go away. You know, but it's when it starts changing the cells, is that when we have procedures to prevent those precancerous cells, or dysplasia, if you want to call it, you know, the medical term. Mm-hmm. And they have procedures to prevent going into a cancer status. And that's very important. This is why it's preventable.
Right. And so in September, you're actually the president of the New York chapter of Tamika and Friends,
yes,
the non-for-profit organization.
I am.
Right?
Yes. Very proud.
Good, good, good.
Yes.
It's a wonderful thing, because you're actually out there educating people about the preventative aspect of it,
correct,
as well as supporting the ones who may have been diagnosed.
Yes. And
you have a walk coming up.
Yes, I share my story to prevent women to endure what I did, and to become a statistic like I am. We're having a walk September 17 to bring awareness and support cervical cancer survivors and cervical cancers that are battling the disease right now. As well as caregivers and friends. They come and we unite. September 17 at Carshalls Park.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that walk, because it's actually on the river.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's interesting. That's wonderful.
Yes, it's a beautiful walk. It's Carshalls Park, right across Gracie Mansion, as you know, East 86th Street and East End Avenue. And it's just 5K, 3.1 miles, if you want to know how many miles. And it's just beautiful, where survivors come together. That's how I got inspired when I did my first walk. Because you know, you're going to see survivors telling the story with so much strength and determination, and it's just so easy to get inspired.
We're looking at some images right now of, I guess, previous walks.
Yes, those are cervical cancer survivors. That was in the year 2009, and we get together and you know, to make sure that the women out there know that this is preventable, and that no women should die from this disease. Yet 11 women die a day from cervical cancer.
Wow, wow. And of course, she gave me this beautiful button, which actually symbolizes the cervix, right?
Yes, it's a global symbol of prevention of cervical cancer.
Which is Pearl of Wisdom.
Yes, it is.
The Pearl of Wisdom. And I thank you for giving this to me.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I wear it in you know, with love of being right there with you, and just sharing with everybody the importance of just getting yourself checked regularly to prevent these things from happening. Now, at Tamika and Friends, which is, okay, the actual walk itself is called Beat the Clock.
Yes, Walk to Beat the Clock.
Walk to Beat the Clock.
We named it Walk to Beat the Clock because every hour women get diagnosed with cervical cancer, and every 2.5 hours a woman dies from cervical cancer. So it's time to stop the clock, to beat the clock. Walk to beat the clock.
It's a great concept. It's great. And then Tamika and Friends, all right, I just want to make sure that everybody who's watching right now understands. Tamika and Friends is an organization that actually assists in creating events such as Walk to Beat the Clock. However, there's two separate websites that you can go to, for one for the walk and the other one for information about cervical cancer as well as HPV. Now, before we go, and of course we're going to share that information with you guys, can you just share with everybody how important it is as a woman that you get checked, that you check yourself regularly? Like, please share with everybody the crucialness of, especially after a certain age, how important it is to go and get a full checkup with your doctor.
Yeah. unfortunately, it took this to wake me up and be in tune with my body. It's so important, you know, and even after my doctor told me I was cancer-free, I was just in tune with that part of my body, and I kind of forgot the other parts. And I kind of like, it took a little bit of me not getting to feel good again to go to my doctor for a physical. And unfortunately, I was diagnosed with diabetes, and I didn't even know it. So it's so important to check, to, you know, your entire body. You know, this is the only body we have, and we have one life to live.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. Patty Murillo Casa, and once again, she is going to be walking to beat the clock, and she invites all of you to join them at Walk to Beat the Clock, and you can go to their website, which is walktobeattheclock.org, to obtain more information about the walk, to be a part of the walk, to support the walk, whatever it is, even to obtain more information about the cervical cancer as well as HPV. And Tamika and Friends, for more about Tamika and Friends or the Walk to Beat the Clock, you can go to either tamikaandfriends.org, which is Tamika and Friends, which is the actual organization presenting the Walk to Beat the Clock .org event. Well, tamikaandfriends.com. tamikaandfriends.org and or walktobeattheclock.org. And obviously I'm emphasizing this because as women, I think it's important that we honor ourselves, and so that we can be the nurturing mothers that we are to individuals. So, but you have to take care of yourself first. All right, so make sure you go and check out those websites. And thank you again, Patty.
Thank you, Rhina.
Patty Murillo Casa, for having an impact and spreading the word. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, so unfortunately, we have to take a quick break, people. But when we return, Poppy C will fill us in on the happenings in sports. We'll be right back.
The new Meadowlands Stadium got a new name, and it looks like the Jets took the first chapter of this ongoing bragging rights saga. The Battle of New York belonged to Gang Green in Week 3 of the preseason. The Jets downed the G-Men 17-3, christening the newly minted MetLife Stadium. In the process, the Jets captured the Snoopy Trophy as the winner of the first annual MetLife Bowl.
You know, we wanted to win this game. You know, it's been a long-time rivalry, you know, with both organizations, and now you know, teaming up with MetLife and playing for the Snoopy Trophy is great.
I mean, you know, this is probably the closest to a real game, you know, third preseason game. So, you know, we just got to see how we coming in and practice and going into the opener.
For newly signed defensive tackle Jimmy Kennedy, the preseason loss hit home for the Yonkers native.
I take losses hard, so, you know, I mean, I know it's preseason and everything else, but you know, I'm a winner at heart, so I want to go out there and win every game if I could. If we don't fix our mistakes and everything else and we continue to lose, then that's when it's a problem.
Despite a sloppy affair, the Jets will gladly take the win.
Getting first downs and being in manageable third downs, you know, that's a key for us, and then the red zone, working on the red zone and stuff like that.
For now, Big Blue will have to wait for a shot at redemption. The local rivals square off on Christmas Eve in Week 16.
After Monday night's hurricane-delayed defeat to the Jets, the Giants closed out the preseason last night in New England as many of the reserves got the call. The G-Men edged the Patriots 18-17, finishing the 4-week preseason at 2-2. Gang Green had a chance to wrap up the preseason on a high note Thursday night, but their backups weren't as fortunate in MetLife Stadium, falling 24-14 to the Philadelphia Eagles in another matchup of reserves. The Jets finished the preseason at 2-2. The Green and White will now open the season on September 11th against Dallas. What can we expect, Santonio Holmes?
I mean, what can Jet fans expect to see on September 11th?
A whole lot of flying. A whole lot of flying from all the guys. Great defense. Guys are going to come out hitting hard. Special teams is going to be on point. You know, having Coach Westhoff as one of the top special teams guys in the league for a number of years. And our offense, you know, got a lot of new guys around, a lot of new faces, and I think we're ready to roll.
The Giants also open up on Sunday, September 11th. Big Blue will be in Washington for their opener. How about these Road Warriors? Despite a ninth-inning scare, the Yankees finally took a series from the Red Sox. Struggling starter A.J. Burnett put together a nice effort Thursday night in a 4-2 win. Closer Mariano Rivera struck out AL batting leader Adrian Gonzalez with the bases loaded for the final out on a night when prize prospect Jesus Montero made his major league debut. The Yanks, only a half game back of first place in the AL East, are coming home for a weekend series with Toronto that starts tonight at the stadium. There's no place like home after all. That's been the story for the Mets, too. The Amazons took 4 of 5 from the Florida Marlins since Monday's doubleheader sweep. The Mets finished off the series in a 7-5 win last night as newcomer Miguel Batista earned the 100th win of his career. Lucas Duda came up with another big hit and 2 more RBIs. He's been sweltering of late, finishing the month of August by batting .517 from the 7th inning on with an MLB best 13 RBIs. Here's Mr. Clutch.
Like you said, they're tough situations, and all I'm trying to do is just put the ball in play. I'm not trying to do anything special. Just put the ball in play. Whatever the situation, whatever the game, the game will tell you what to do. So you just got to listen, I guess.
Locally, a pair of Mets were honored by Latino Sports and the Latino Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association Tuesday at Citi Field. Let's take a look.
People are asking, well, who's Angel Pagan? Well, but brother, you showed everybody in 2010, ¿Quién es Ángel Pagan, brother? You did a job. And as a result, we recognize you for that.
Thank you very much. I'm very humble. Thank you for everything. This is a very unique opportunity for me. This doesn't happen to me a lot, so I want to thank everybody that make this possible. I hope I can, be healthy for a lot of years so I can make many of these years like last year happen and, be the Mets proud. Thank you very much.
Roberto Clemente Sportsman of the Year Award for a player who goes out of his way to give time to the press, especially to Latino press. So to the first Anglo in the history of the 22 years that they give an award, David Wright.
I just can't thank you enough for recognizing, not so much, the baseball aspect of it, but, away from the field. So I really appreciate it. That means more to me than the actual baseball stuff. So, thank you for honoring me. It's a tremendous company to be in. Anytime you're associated with Roberto Clemente, I think it's extra special. And here's my shot at Spanish, so don't laugh, okay? Yeah. Gracias por el premio Roberto Clemente. Los quiero mucho. Thank you.
In other local action, Fordham football had their opener at UConn moved from Thursday night to Saturday afternoon. The Rams will return home on September 17th for their annual battle with Columbia. And on a final sports roundup note, the Bronx's own Doug Marrone skippered Syracuse football to a shocking fourth-quarter rally Thursday night as the Orange completed a wild 15-point comeback in the final quarter, paving the way for a 36-29 OT victory. That was heart-stopping. Meanwhile, this final story will touch your heart. Check this out. Joined now in the Sports Corner with Yankee Coordinator of Media Relations and Publicity, Kenny Leandri. Tell us a little bit about Hope Week.
Hope Week at its core, it's about helping others. It's something we do every year. We've done it. This is the third year we do it. Individuals, families, organizations that either deal with the cause that many people don't know about or that could use the exposure to better help them with funding and things like that.
So this year there are 5 major events that the Yankees hold for Hope Week.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, recap those 5.
Monday, we had an organization called Daniel's Music Foundation. And long story short, it's an organization that helps those that are physically handicapped or mentally handicapped and provides free music instruction. Tuesday was Tuesday's Children. This year, as you know, is the 10th anniversary of 9/11. So what we did is we went to Beekman Beach Club, which is by South Street, Shreveport. And we had a little party of sorts. We reunited some of the mentors and mentorees that are part of Tuesday's Children. And we had a little picnic with Mariano and Curtis and some of our other players, water, balloon fights, all kinds of games. Wednesday was pretty neat. We had some of our players with some Haitian children from a school in Queens who were either related or were firsthand affected by the earthquake in Haiti. So what we did is we took CC Sabathia, we took some of our other players, and we took a tour of Manhattan. Thursday, we had a lemonade stand in Staten Island. a girl named Megan Agello who had cerebral palsy. What we did is we had a lemonade stand for her. We just basically blew it out, so to say. Pretty much it was a carnival atmosphere. We had a dunk tank. Brian Cashman was there. He was in the dunk tank. So we had a nice time, and the proceeds benefited Special Olympics. Friday, we had these two kids, Andre and John. These American couples adopted them, and they were reunited on the Today Show on Friday morning for the first time in years. I can't put to words and do it justice what that scene was like, but just to see these two who have gone through so much in their life be reunited was truly special.
If you can put into words what it's like to see the faces of some of these honorees and recipients who I'm sure never thought they would be in a position to be part of something like this.
That's very hard, Bobby, because, and you've been to some of these Hope Week events, it's very hard to explain what they're feeling. Sometimes when we ask them, hey, how do you feel? Maybe during the event, we're like, hey, are you okay? Is everything going good? Do you need anything? It's like they're almost speechless. And it's not about them thanking us. It's honestly, it's about us thanking them.
Well, Kenny, I think the Yankees have a winning tradition on the field, and I think Hope Week is becoming a winning tradition off it as well.
Thank you, Bobby. We really appreciate that. As you know, Jason Zillow, who's our Director of Media Relations and Publicity, he's the brainchild behind Hope Week. And I can remember sitting in a meeting 3 years ago at the old Yankee Stadium in his office, and he said, I want to do something called Hope Week, and he put it on his chalkboard. And to see what it's become now, that's the core of Hope Week, helping others. Just to see anybody, whether it's a kid at a school helping somebody with their homework, or showing somebody how to shoot a jump shot or swing a bat. It's the small things. It doesn't have to be anything big, and I know sometimes that's the impression that's gotten because it's the Yankees, but it could be any little thing that's helping others, and you know, just to see that in the smallest of ways, truly rewarding.
Well, the Yankees always hit home runs on and off the field. That's your sports on Bobby C. Back to you, Rhina.
That was so sweet, Bobby.
Thank you.
We are definitely spurting hope here on the set today.
Good stuff.
Great
show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was a great segment.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah. Well, you know, and then we've got the nice sounds of the keyboard from the musician Keitan over there, and I just want to acknowledge you for playing us in and out. We're going to hear some more from him as he accompanies our Open Artist Spotlight, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone. But you're not alone. At iava.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. iava.org. We've got your back.
Welcome home, man.
The magical thing about using energy wisely is that anyone can do it. Turn off lights. Use energy-saving light bulbs. And Turn off computers and game systems when not in use. Make a change and we can really fly. Grab a grown-up and go online to energy.gov/kids.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people, connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Hi, welcome back to Open. Rhina Valentin here, and we are back. Hope you're ready to groove because it is now time for our Open Artist Spotlight.
The Open Artist Spotlight is made possible in part with public funds from the Bronx Council on the Arts through the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Program.
Our Open Artists grew up singing gospel music in various choirs, including the New York State Haitian Interdenominational Mass Choir, the Love Fellowship Choir, and Voices of Inspiration. She's also the founder and director of the League's Beacon Community Choir, which ranked 3rd in the McDonald's Gospel Competition. Her first album was released in 2008 by Final Destination Music Group, and now she joins us here on Open to share her special message through song. Please welcome Esther Lermil.
In the quiet storm, in the rain that falls, in the wind that blows, let me hear your voice in my darkest hour, in the midst of fire, in my silent tears. I need to hear your voice, 'cause when you speak, things change and things begin to take their place. And in your lungs there's hope that breathes new life within my soul. Lord, here am I, speak a word to me. My heart is listening. Let me hear your voice. Hallelujah, Lord. I want to hear your voice in my trying time, when I'm cold and shame, when I am to blame. Let me hear your voice in my trying times, when my heart has cried, when I try to hide. I need to hear your voice, 'cause when you speak, things change and things begin to take their place. And in your lungs there's hope that breathes new life within my soul. When you speak, things change and things begin to take their place. And in your lungs there's hope that breathes new life within my soul. Lord, here am I, speak a word to me. Lord, here am I, speak a word to me.
That was so beautiful. Thank you. Oh, what a perfect way to end this show. Thank you. I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and I'm just going to ask you to speak into the mic, just so that, can we acknowledge Kayton?
Yes.
Kayton.
That's my keyboard player, Kayton.
Kayton, keyboard
Yes.
player, who's a musician, who has actually been playing us in and out of the break. So just want to acknowledge you. You know, it was a show of hope today, and obviously that's the word that you're spreading. Yes. And you've actually even changed the tone in my voice. That was so refreshing, and we are so grateful to you for closing our show like this. Is there any information regarding the choir, where you lead, that you'd like to share with everyone?
Yes, definitely. The name of our ministry is Esther Lormel and Friends. And if you want to get our information, you can log on to Facebook at fdmusicgroup.com, or you can also find us on Twitter, Esther Lormel. And we have a single coming out soon, really soon. So if you follow us on Twitter at Esther Lormel, then you'll be able to get a lot of information about the single.
Now, with this whole movement, is there like a particular message? Obviously, it's the message of God. But aside from that, like in inviting people to join your mission, do you gear your message towards anything specific?
Well, basically, our message is clear. It's that Jesus is Lord and He's your Savior. And, you know, a lot of people, like right now in these times that we're living, you know, a lot of people are going through a lot of things, a lot of different, you know, trials and tribulations. And as we know, you know, you never know what's going to happen in this world. So to have your security, you know, within your life, within your soul, is to accept the Lord as your personal Savior. Our message is that Jesus is Lord, and that if you accept Him as your Lord and personal Savior, you will have that secured life.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you're quite the multitasker, because aside from sharing your message, you actually are an executive to an organization. I mean, just share with everybody all the wonderful stuff that you're doing.
Well, basically, at Final Destination Music Group, which is the record label, I'm also the vice president of the label.
Final Destination Music Group.
Yes, you hear that? The name.
I like that.
It sounds scary, but then at the same time, it makes you think. Final Destination. You know, what will be your final destination?
Right.
And then also, I work with a lot of women. That's why this whole message of hope and everything. It's really, you know, inspiring. Definitely, I work with women and just inspiring women, lifting them up and encouraging them. And then I attend the church, which is also in the Bronx, Church of God of Prophecy. And what I do there, I'm the minister of music at the church, along with my husband. And Kayton is not my husband.
Kayton's not her husband, okay? That's okay.
We'll find somebody. Yeah, but Kayton is happily married.
Oh, you're married. Okay, all right.
Yes,
so they're married, just not to each other.
Not
Very
to
good.
each other.
Yes.
But
okay.
yeah, definitely. I'm doing a lot of work in the community, just reaching out to a lot of people, you know, women, youth, young people. It's a lot of work, you know, but spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, that's the main focus.
Well, and we definitely got your message through your voice today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having
us. Thank you. And once again, just share the information with everyone so that they can follow you on Twitter. It's Esther Lormel, right?
Yes, Esther Lormel, ESTHERLORMIL. Or you can find us on Facebook at FD Music Group.
All right. And make sure once again, you can check her out at Esther Lormel and pick up her album, In Your Presence. Yes. In Your Presence, right? That's correct. I just want to make sure I said it right. All right, people. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. Thank you once again, Kayton. He's been playing us in and out. Go ahead. Rock it on, baby. He's been rocking it. And, you know, don't you hate when time flies by like that? Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what happened. But as we shared, it has been a message of hope today, and I hope you've gotten it. And we want to thank all of our guests for coming in. Esther Lormel. We had Michelle Medina on a previous show. Patty, would you like to join us again? Patty, our cervix cancer survivor who is doing the beat the clock walk. Yes, 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 yes. And of course, our sports guru, Bobby C, and the entire crew of Open on today's show. And we'd like to thank all of you always for watching and tuning in at home and on the internet, and to tune into the Recablecast. You can watch us at 5 p.m., 10 p.m., and throughout the entire weekend. For full episodes of Open, past or present, you can check us out 24/7 by going to www.bronxnet.org. I'm Rhina Valentin, spreading the message of hope and love with you all. From all of us here at Open, may the universe provide peace, prosperity, and love. Mwah. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy. Yay, champion!